Well guys, we've come to the end of 2015, which means Ancient DOS Games is coming back right at the start of January, which I forget what day of the month that is right now, but it's going to be the same schedule as it's always been. First 3 Saturdays of every month is going to be a new Ancient DOS Games video, with the 5th video, or after the 5th regular episodes will be the filler videos. So I've got everything planned out as I would like to, save for the fact that my project is not going as fast as I'd like it to. Like, I'm making significant progress, and I've made tons of progress over the past couple months. Like, I mean, the code base is literally like 20,000 lines of code now, and I'm about 65-70% done, at least in terms of the games themselves. So I don't know, I'm definitely making good progress here. It's not as far along as I'd like it to be. So in order to be able to get more of this done, the first few episodes of Ancient DOS Games in January are going to be smaller games so that I can get the gameplay for that out of the way, because the gameplay is actually what takes the longest for making Ancient DOS Games episodes. It's just playing the game and then figuring out what parts of that will make into a decent review. So by covering smaller games, it means I can spend less time playing the game and more time actually focusing on my project here, which is why I was going this way with my hands for some reason. But otherwise, things have just been status quo. So working on my project, working on the new ADG Plays videos, which not only a small number of you have actually gravitated towards them, but it's actually pulled in new viewers in general. So that means when Ancient DOS Games gets going again, this means more people to see more DOS gaming goodness. So there's nothing wrong with that. As I said before, part of the reason why I started doing the ADG Play stuff is because I couldn't really think of much to do for the blog thing, and yeah, I wanted to do some kind of extra video, and everyone was pretty adamant that I don't do Minecraft videos, which, you know, is probably a good thing, because every time I try to sit down and play Minecraft now, it's like, what is even the point? It's just like the same things over and over and over again. It's like, yeah. So I started looking into other similar games, which is why one of the options for games to cover on ADG Plays has been Space Engineers, because that's one of the ones I've been playing. Though not recently. Recently I've been getting more into Fortress Craft, of all things, which is kind of like, don't mind the PC computer there. It's kind of like, how do I put this? Well, I've always played Minecraft more recently with a whole bunch of mods going and everything, which is what I covered in, I think it was I recently did a video about that. But Fortress Craft is like if you took all the parts of Minecraft that were, of modded Minecraft that were about automation, and turned it into a game. There's actually another similar game that came out before called Factorio, I believe, or something like that. I've never played it, but it's sort of like a 2D version of what Fortress Craft is. Sort of. They're all entirely different games, and they all have their pros and cons and everything, and Fortress Craft is still, I wouldn't say it's early in development. In fact, there's quite a bit to it as it is, but there's actually still a lot more planned for it, so that's always fun. And yeah, not a whole lot else going on, really. So programming, playing games, getting ready for Ancient DOS Games. That's how it works. So next episode of Ancient DOS Games is going to be on, you know, I really should look this up. Give me a second. Okay, I just finished looking it up. So January 2nd is the first Saturday of 2016, so that'll be episode 176 of Ancient DOS Games. And as for which game I'm going to be covering, it's basically a 2D shooter that barely works properly in anything but real DOS. So I'm going to try my best to get it working as good as I can with DOSBox, but don't be surprised if it becomes a different game if I can't get it working that well. In any case, send your guesses to adg@pixelships.com as usual. Send in your guesses, send in your comments and requests and everything. That's another thing that's happened too, is that people have been making requests for games on the YouTube comments. That's kind of hard to keep track of, so if you really want me to do a request at some point, it's better to send it to my email so that it doesn't get lost in the flotsam of comments that come in, because sometimes they don't all show up in YouTube's like comment panel and everything. So just something to keep in mind. You want me to do a request? Email it to me, don't use the YouTube comments. Anywho, yeah, so that's all for this filler, so stay tuned for the first episode of 2016 of Ancient DOS Games, and with any luck, we'll get to 200, and I really have good stuff planned for 200, so stay tuned for that, guys.